Hey, what's up, guys? And welcome back. We got the 7 and 5 Red Sox at the 5 and 6 Highlanders. New York 2 games behind now. The Red Sox half game out of first place behind the Browns. And it's going to be Doc Gessler starting things off for the Red Sox. And Gessler rolls a 45 for a 14, and he takes his base against Jack Chesbro. Here's Bob Unglaub. Unglaub rolls a 63 for a 31. It's a fly ball to center field. We should have done the hit and run, shouldn't we? Here's Frank Laporte, 1 out. And he rolls a 51 for a 9. That's going to be an infield hit, a single, because Chesbro only has the B. It'll bring up Heine Wagner, and the question is, do we swing away or bunt? Of course we bunt. It's 1908. He rolls a 56 for a 32. It's a good bunt over to the left side, and it's going to be Conroy making the play. Throws over to Niles, covering at first for the out, 2 away. Denny Sullivan up there, runners on at first and second and third, rather. He rolls a 31 for a 9. That's going to be a strikeout, and that will end the inning. We go to the bottom of the first, and it is Cy Young up there against Charlie Hemphill. Yes, I know Cy Young only has the B, right? I know he was supposed to be legendary. He rolls a 34 for a 44. Here's the little E roll, 34 out of the range. Fly ball over to center field. Sullivan has it for the out, 1 away, and it's Wee Willie Keeler now up there. Keeler rolls a 23 for a 32. It's a fly ball to right field, Gessler has it for the out, 2 away. Here's Jake Stahl. Rolls a 35 for a 42, and he's hit by that pitch. That'll bring up Neil Ball, runner on at first base. Ball hitting 216, rolls a 22 for an 8. That's a ground ball over to the third baseman, Lord, who has it, throws to first for the out. We go to the top of the second. Gabby Kravitz up there now rolls a 32 for a 26. That's a ground ball over to Niles, the second baseman, throws to first for the out, 1 away. Harry Lord rolls a 42 for a 22. And that's going to be a comeback over to Jack Chesbro, and he will drop that one for an error, which brings up Krieger. And Lord does have that 11, so we could hit and run or we could bunt. Let's hit and run. Let's hit and run, and the roll is a 45 for a 14, and Lord ends up successfully stealing the base. We decided not to bunt there because we can bunt now. And now the roll is a 36 for a 33, and that's going to be a little bunt over to the catcher Kleinow, who takes a huge risk, throws over to third base, and they get their man. Conroy makes the tag, and Krieger ends up on first base, but with 2 outs, and here's Cy Young. Cy Young rolls a 24 for a 13. It's a strikeout, and we go to the bottom of the second inning. Is going to be Harry Niles. Niles up there rolls the 66 for the 0 and a 35 for a 2, and he ends up on third base, and that'll bring up Hal Chase. Obvious bunting situation. We're going to try to bunt Niles home, and the roll is a 42 for a 13, and that will get the runner called out of the plate as Hal Chase missed that one. Maybe we should have swung away with Chase. I don't know what you think. 31 now the roll for Chase. That's a 9 for a single, and I called out trying to steal second. 2 away, and here's Red Kleinow. Rolls a 52 for a 27. That's going to be a ground ball over to third baseman. Lord throws to first for the out. Both teams with chances early on, and here's Doc Gessler. Gessler rolls a 31 for a 9. That's a pop-up over to Conroy, the third baseman, for the first out. Bob Unglaub now rolls a 43 for a 29. Ground ball back to Chesbro. Throws to first for the out, 2 away, and it's Frank Laposte. He rolls a 52 for a 27. That'll be a ground ball over to Conroy. Throws to first. Wood Conroy at the bottom of the third. Wood Conroy was one of those players involved in the American League National League issues back in 1901, 1902. I'm going to write about him pretty soon here. He rolls a 26 for a 27. It's a ground ball over to third base. Lord has it, throws to first for the out. 1 away is Jack Chesbro now, who rolls a 46 for a 13 and strikes out. 2 away. Charlie Hemphill rolls a 34 for a 44. There is a little E-roll, however, but it's a 33. It's out of the range. That's going to be a fly ball over to Sullivan in center field for the out. We go to the top of the fourth, and it's Heine Wagner. Still no score. Wagner rolls a 24 for a 13, strikes out to Jack Chesbro. That's spitball. 1 out, and here's Denny Sullivan, who rolls a 34 for a 44. And the little E rolls a 63 out of the range. It's a fly ball over to center field. Hempel has it for the out, 2 outs. And here's Kravitz, who rolls a 41 for a 28. It's a ground ball over to the shortstop, and it's going to be Ball, who has it, throws to first for the out. We go to the bottom of the fourth, and it's Wee Willie Keeler, rolls a 22 for a 7. That's a single, only hit number 3 off of Cy Young, and that'll bring up Jake Stahl, and we'll do a little hit and run, I think. The rolls a 32 for a 26. It's a ground ball over to Laporte. Throws to first for the out. No play on Keeler at second as he was running with that pitch. Neil Ball now. 2 chances for the Highlanders to get on the board. Ball rolls a 12 for a 24. It's a pop-up over to Wagner, the shortstop. 2 away, and here's Harry Niles. He rolls a 55 for a 9, and that's a single scoring the runner, but Niles is then thrown out trying to steal. We go to the top of the fifth inning. Highlanders do get one across. It's 1-0, and here is Harry Lord. Lord rolls a 45 for a 14 and will walk against Chesbro, and that brings up Krieger, who's going to bunt. I think we've done this before. Rolls a 26 for a 27. 2 attempts to bunt missed. We'll hit and run this time. And the roll is a 54 for a 45. That's a little fly ball over to right field. Keeler has it for the out. 1 away, and here's Cy Young, who rolls a 55 for an 8. That's a little bunt back to Chesbro. He throws that one over to Niles, covering at first for the out. 2 away. Doc Gessler with the runner in scoring position. He rolls a 46 for a 13, and he'll strike out bottom of the 5th time now. Hal Chase, if I'm going fast, it's because I am. That's what happens when you have meetings all morning. Chase rolls a 51 for an 8. That's a ground ball over to Heine Wagner. A short throws to first for the out, one away. Red Kleinow now rolls a 44 for a 9. It's a single over shortstop. That'll bring up Wood Conrad, runner at first base. Hit number 5 for the Highlanders, rather. And he rolls a 41 for a 28. It's going to be a ground ball over to Wagner, who flips over to Laporte. Only for the force, can't complete the double play. 2 away, and here is Jack Chesbro. And the rolls a 42 for a 13. That's a strikeout. We go to the top of the 6th. Bob Unglaub, and the Red Sox bats have been stymied here by Chesbro. Unglaub rolls a 62 for a 12, and the Little E rolls a 21. That is in there. That changes to an 18. That's going to be an error on the shortstop ball. That'll bring up Frank Laporte, and I think we're going to have him bunt. And the roll is a 64 for a 29, and that's kind of a bad bunt over to Chase, who throws over to Ball, the shortstop, covering the bag at second for the out. 1 away, and Heine Wagner hitting 279 is up there. He rolls a 15, for an 11. That's a single that will send Laporte to third. Wagner is the second hit for the Red Sox, and that'll bring up Denny Sullivan. Infield will come in. Laporte a little bit too slow for us to bunt him home, though. And the roll is a 26 for a 27, and that's a ground ball over to third base, and it's going to be Conroy making the play over to first. 2 away. Gavy Kravitz now. And the roll is a 35 for a 14, and that's a walk by Chesbro, who's losing his concentration. Bases loaded for Harry Lord. He rolls a 63 for a 31. That's a little fly ball over to Hemphill, who has it. Easy peasy. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and it's going to be Hemphill, who rolls a 62 for a 12. That's a ground ball to Unglaub, who does it himself. 1 away. Wheelie Keeler rolls a 33 for a 7. That's another hit off of Cy Young. Hit number 6, and we're going to do hit and run here with Jake Stahl up there. Rolls a 56, for a 34. And the game decides that this is a good time to freeze. We've had a bunch of these issues, haven't we, in recent times? We had a little bit of a freezing action happen in Diamond Mine Baseball yesterday. This time, this is a line drive hit over to Wagner, who makes the grab and throws over to Unglaub for the double play. We go to the top of the 7th inning. It's Lou Krieger. 1-0 still New York. Krieger rolls a 44 for an 8. That's a single against Chesbro, and that'll bring up Cy Young again. He's going to bunt again. The roll's a 54 for a 45. It's a bunt over to the third baseman, Conroy. He throws over to Chase at first. It probably should be the second baseman. We could talk with Bill about that. 1 away. Here's Doc Gessler. He rolls a 24 for a 31. It's a little fly ball over to Hemphill in center field. 2 outs. And here's Bob Unglaub. He rolls a 55 for a 7, and that's a clean single to right field to score the runner. And that is going to tie this ball game. And that will make the score 1-1. And it's going to take me just a second to sort of go ahead and get this little highlight, get a little Polaroid of this one for the blog. It's all about the blog, isn't it? And so this is a 1-1 ball game now, and here in the top of the 2nd. And Unglaub with the big clutch hit, and hitting after him, of course, is Frank Laporte with 2 outs here. Runner on first base. Hit number 4, by the way, for Boston. Laporte rolls a 35 for a 36, changed to a 40, and that's going to be a little ground ball over to Chase, flips it over to Chesbro, and we go to the bottom of the 7th. And here is Neil Ball. Ball rolls a 12 for a 24, and the little E roll is there, and it's a 16, and that's within the range. That'll be an error on Unglaub. Ball over there on first base, and here comes Harry Niles, and we'll just swing away. Nothing crazy going on. He rolls a 36 for a 32. Fly ball over to Gessler and right, 1 away, and here's Hal Chase. Chase rolls a 62 for a 12, and that's going to be a double play, and it is. Little ground ball over to Wagner, flips to Laporte for 1, on to Unglaub at first for the doubling, and we go to the top of the 8th inning, and it's Heine Wagner. Roll for Wagner's at 56 for 32. Fly ball over to Keeler in right field, 1 away. Denny Sullivan now, and he rolls a 33 for a 7, and there's a base hit off of Chesbro. I'll bring up Gavy Kravitz. And Gavy rolls a 21 for a 30. It's a fly ball over to left field. Stahl has it for the out. 2 away for Harry Lord, who rolls a 46 for a 29. Come back over to Cy Young. Throws over to Chesbro. Throws to first for the out. Go to the bottom of the 8th, and here's Red Kleinow, who rolls a 25 for a 14. And that'll bring up Wood Conroy. Conroy's going to bunt. And he rolls a 25 for a 10. Would have been a base hit. Instead, that's going to be a bunt that's fielded by Unglaub, who has to flip it over to Laporte, covering behind him. And there's 1 away here for Jack Chesbro, who also is going to bunt. And he rolls a 65 for a 35. Probably not a great bunt number. We'll find out. And 51 is the roll. That's a strikeout. Yeah, Charlie Hemphill now with the runner on second base, a chance to do something. and his roll is a 54 for a 45. But there is a little E, hold everything. The roll is a 22 within the range. That's going to be an error on the right fielder, and that does score the runner, and that's the way that this is going to be. So the little E ends up saving the Highlanders, and that's going to make this a 2-1 game here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And up next for the Highlanders ought to be the heart of the order, and it is Wee Willie Keeler, who so far today is 2 for 3, hitting .279 this season, runner on first base. He rolls a 54 for a 45. It's a fly ball over to Sullivan in center field. And so we go to the top of the 9th. It's going to be Lou Krieger, and then probably a pinch hitter here up against Jack Chesbro. Krieger rolls a 32 for a 26. That is a ground ball over to Niles, who makes the play, throws the first for the out, one away. And we're going to take a look and see who we can have. I don't know if I've had any of these guys. McConnell's got the day off. I decided that before. McHale or Thoney. It's going to be Thoney. Thoney's the pinch hitter here for Boston. 1 out here, top of the 9th. He rolls a 42 for a 13 and strikes out 2 away. And here comes Doc Gessler. And Gessler will roll the 62 for the 12. And that's a little ground ball over to Chase. And Chase has it for the out. And that does it. The Highlanders with the win go to 6-6. Red Sox with the loss will go to 7-6. And the parity in the American League continues. Hope you enjoyed this one. Another close game in 1908. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.